You can use Timetotrade to calculate your UK HMRC capital gains tax liabilities and generate tax return forms SA108 for shares, unit trusts and OEICs. To begin, you have to input your share and fund transactions, and to do so, you go to Portfolio, Accounts, and enter your transactions. In this example, we can see how we have entered a number of short transactions, so sell to open short positions and cover shorts. So Timetotrade supports long and short share positions. It supports an extensive range of share reorganisations such as rights issues, splits, consolidations, capital reorganisations, etc. So to enter your transactions, click on the Add Edit button and just input each share transaction. Alternatively, go to the Income Expenditure page and you can import your transactions from spreadsheets. If you have unit trust and OEIC transactions, you enter them in the Funds section, and Timetotrade also supports notional distributions and equalisation payments. After you have input your transactions, you can go to the taxation link or the taxation page to take a look at your capital gains tax liabilities. So in this example for the year 2010 there were no capital gains tax liabilities, but let's go back to 2008 and we can see for this example that we did indeed have a tax liability, and the reasons for that are given at the top of the screen. You can see then there are buttons that you can click to generate your tax return form, such as SA108, your capital gains tax return form. So it will generate your historical tax return form for the selected year, populating the various fields, including supporting calculations. So this can be included with your SA100 personal tax return form. If you have other sources of capital gains and you just want to have the calculations relating to these tax liabilities, you can generate them by clicking on SA108 supporting calculations. This generates the tax liability calculations for the selected tax year. Or alternatively, you can generate all of your historical calculations for the previous years in a single document for giving, for example, to your accountant for auditing. Now below these buttons, there's a number of different fields that provide you with key information for understanding your current tax position. You have the annual exemption for the selected tax year. You'll have a summary of this year's losses. Timetotrade supports the allocation of losses against gains, both from the current year and carried forward from previous years. You have some summary information here on the number of transactions, chargeable gain, loss, etc. You can see how much is left on your annual exemption or your unused annual exemption for this year. Again, a summary of losses, unused losses, etc. Down below, we have a breakdown of each individual transaction that has contributed towards your tax liabilities. So here we have the gains, i.e. profit that is taxable, and below we have the losses. It's important to note that Timetotrade not only provides basic support for shares and unit trusts, it supports indexation, taper relief, business, non-business assets. It supports the equalisation payments, notional distributions, and a broad range of share identification rules from historical periods. And all of this is brought together to show you what is your current tax liabilities. So the bottom line is, if you come to this page and you see that you have a tax liability, you can look at the reasons. If it's during the current year, you can decide if, for example, you'd like to dispose of a loss-making investment to reduce your tax liability, for example. So it allows you then to model it before you take any action. And if you do have a tax liability, you can generate your supporting calculations, or you can generate the actual SA108 form and provide these to your accountant for auditing and submission.